What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another weekly warehouse preview. This week we have a lot of exciting stuff, so make sure to stick around for some awesome new MVP, Trilogy, Prodigy, and more. We're going to start over though with the Trilogy. First thing I just want to mention is that the drop shelf over here has some new decor. Carson was one of our first employees we hired for the warehouse, and he just left on to bigger and better things. He graduated college, and we have dedicated this shelf to him, so I just want to mention that because I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, on to Trilogy. First thing we got a few glow discs going on. We've got the Glow Underworld. This is a very popular roller disc amongst Trilogy players. Nice and understable in that 7-speed. It's a good fairway roller. Also, if you have a little bit of lower arm speed, just a great easy hyzer flip discs. Another glow disc we got in here is the Bolt. This one I wasn't super familiar with. I don't think it's very popular, but it's a 13.6 negative 2.3, and it feels like an absolute bomber. Like it feels really fast. Definitely a true 13 speed as far as rim width is concerned. Another disc we have back here, and this starts, so one of the cool things that Latitude Westside them do is, you know, they're a Swedish manufactured company and just a Swedish company in general, so they run Swedish stamps from time to time. So like this is a sapphire, but it's in the like Swedish word, so the spelling is different, which I think is super cool. Some other examples here are the daggers, so instead it's like the dolk. And then the compass, pretty close spelling, but it has a K instead of a C, which I think is pretty cool. And then I think, yeah, that's that for the Swedish ones. I think that's super fun because it's just kind of like a little twist, and if you already like throwing those discs, it's fun having the different stamps, and sometimes people are like, oh, what's that? It's a little mystery, you know? Another disc we got in here, Opto Ice fuses, and I think these are also glow. But yeah, the fuse is a great mid. This is actually, when I was throwing Trilogy heavily, the fuse was like the first understable mid that I tried out, and it was in my bag for quite some time. It's a really nice hyzer flip disc right out of the box. Not too quick. It's just like a very controllable mid-range disc. So yeah, we've got quite a bit going on over here. Another disc I'm going to mention, these things are pretty cool. These are for the Champions Cup that Kristen Tatar just wants. These are Claymores, and they're like full color. I mean, this is legitimate just art at this point with the wolf on there. So these are definitely more of a decor piece or a collectible, but you can throw them too because the Claymore is a sick disc, and the Dymax like technology that Trilogy has really makes this disc like keep its grip even when it has the full art on there, if that's something you want to do. We also have a restock here of some of the Orbit Claymores as well, if you're looking for that, with another fantastic stamp. So a lot of cool stuff in Trilogy. As always, you know, Trilogy every single week is bringing more and more heat. If you're kind of floating in the air as far as what disc companies you dabble with and throw, if you want new stuff like every week, switch to Trilogy, because you will always have new discs to try without fail.
All right, you know, Trevor was just walking you through some pretty sick new Trilogy stuff, but I got to show you Prodigy with this shipment has officially stepped up their game to a new level. All of these discs I'm about to walk through feel incredible. Their stamp game has really stepped up, and we got some discs celebrating Isaac Robinson, which is always fun. So we're actually gonna start with the Isaac Robinson Champions Cup 500 Spectrum F3s. These things are unreal, two-tone stamps. There's one in here with like a matte white. Yeah, look at this thing. Like a spider up in a tree, and then the Spectrum plastic is just incredible, really grippy, feels really good in the hand, feels good. The F3 I've never really messed with. Look at the bottom of that thing. Feels really good backhand and forehand. I don't really think it's a slot I personally need, or else this would be straight into my bag. This next disc down the line is also pretty cool. It's a 500 plastic, just normal 500 D2 with the Guardian stamp. So again, stepping up their game, little two-tone, two-foil Guardian stamp. I mean, this is probably the best feeling run of D2s. Feels nice and stable. Pretty stiff rim, good little dome to them. They feel unreal. So that's this, and a 6 stamp on there too. So if you're a D2 thrower, or you're looking for a nice like Destroyer-esque disc, check this out. And then this disc did make it in my bag. It is officially in my bag. I haven't thrown it yet, but I'm gonna find a slot for it, because look at this thing. The Rip It 500 plastic D3. What a 6 stamp. These D3s, so they're a little more low profile than a D2. Gonna be a little bit flippier than D2. But these don't feel like they're gonna be like, oh, I didn't even see this guy. He's got a little American flag bucket hat. I might have to take this one instead, actually, of the one I grabbed. But very, very cool stamp. Very, very good feeling plastic, 500 plastic is. And this just feels incredible. I'm not gonna lie to you. Very, very impressed with this run of Prodigy. And this D3 doesn't feel like it's gonna be that like flip up, turn, burn D3. It feels like it's probably gonna have a little bit of pop up and a nice overstable finish. Then a new disc to their Ace line in their new Pro Flex plastic, which is kind of like 400, so it's like that see-through, nice and grippy, good tackiness to it. P model OS 3403. It's almost like a deeper zone type disc because it's got that similar rim shape that we've seen from like the zones, the entropies, those type discs, but it's as deep as like a normal throwing putter. So if you're mainly a backhand player, but you're looking for that like zone type disc and you want to be able to just fan grip it and throw it like your other putters, P Model OS might be the one for you. And then last but certainly not least, the Isaac Robinson Champions Cup commemorative 300 plastic PA3. So 300 is a little softer, a lot grippier than like 350, 350G, and then it's a PA3. So nice little concaveness to it. You know how I feel about the PA3, probably my all-time favorite putter. And this plastic feels unreal. Stamp's really cool too. I love that they're doing the two foil stuff. Really good feeling PA3. So if you're a PA3 thrower or you're just looking to commemorate Isaac Robinson's win at the Champions Cup, you got a few different options there. And these 300 plastic PA3s are going to be some of the best putters on the market. So check it out. New Prodigy shipment. They're bringing some heat.
All right, got some MVP / Streamline over here. Really exciting stuff today for you. We've got the Fission Proxy. These are for the Music City Open commemorative disc for Simon. So really nice stamp on there. And these things just turned out incredible. I mean, they've like started to master these like swirly outside rims, which are just insane. We've got a bunch of different color combinations. These are fantastic. If you haven't thrown the Proxy yet, it's really cemented itself as one of the best like straight flying putters there is. In Fission plastic, these things are probably going to go really far too. Just a fantastic disc. These are really excited about. I've honestly been staring at them all morning like, do I need one? So yeah, make sure to check these out. These will probably go pretty quick. They are limited with them being the Music City commemorative disc. We only have a certain amount, but you should be able to get your hands on one. Make sure you're just there when they drop at 5 p.m. tonight. Some other discs we got going on, some other really exciting stuff. This is the Streamline Disc Echo. So immediately when I felt this disc, I thought to myself, ooh, that might just be a hex. It's very close hand feel wise. So I'm assuming there's a chance it could be just basically Streamline's version of the hex. Because if you don't know, Streamline and MVP, same company. Streamline is just the non-overmolded versions of a lot of the discs. So they always usually have like a slightly different flight and feel, but this will probably be pretty close to a hex. So if you haven't tried out a hex because you're not an overmold guy or girl, the Echo should fly pretty similar, and the hex has been one of the most popular mid-ranges in disc golf for the past few months. People are just loving it. So yeah, these feel really, really good in the Streamline plastic here. So you're gonna want to check those out. We also have these. Some of these have some really, really cool swirls on here. And one of the nice things they do here with this stamp is like the one Echo has like a hollow stamp and one is a solid stamp, and they do that on all of them, which is really, really cool. Their foil capabilities are awesome. Last thing I want to mention here is we got some special edition Fission Fireballs. Fireball is a super overstable fairway driver. These things are incredibly reliable. This stamp is really, really nice. We also have some that have kind of like the swirly outer rims on there. They just do really awesome jobs with their triple foil capabilities. And these in the Fission plastic, they might glide a little more than your normal Firebirds, or Fireballs, I should say. But yeah, we have a few of these as well. So make sure to check out everything going on. This is all dropping tonight. In particular, 5 p.m. Those Proxies are going to go quick, so if you want to get your hands on one of these, make sure they're 5 p.m. foundationdisc.com. These are fantastic discs. Very, very cool. All
right, we're in the Discraft aisle. I'm going to be telling you about some of the overlooked, I think. One of these, not really anymore, but some of the overlooked discs in Discraft lineup. First and foremost, the Vulture. I think a lot of people go elsewhere, go away from Discraft for this slot, or they go to like an Onyx and different discs like that kind of in this lineup. But the Vulture, I think, is a lot of times what the person's looking for, because what an Onyx will do for a Paul, AB, players like that, a Vulture will do for you. So Vulture's a little bit less stable than an Onyx, really good complement if you have an Onyx or like a PD in your bag. It's also, in my experience, a little flippier than that Thunderbird slot. So if you're a Thunderbird thrower and you're looking for a good complement to that, check out the Vulture. Don't let it scare you with a 10 speed. It, in my opinion, is just a 9 speed. If you're worried if the Z is gonna be a little too overstable, you can pick up a big Z. In my experience, they've been a little bit less stable. Got plenty of them in stock right now. I think one of the best fairway drivers on the market, and not enough people are out there throwing them. So first and foremost, we're gonna talk about the Vulture. Then we're gonna take a walk down here a little bit. People always are looking for overstable, I think it's backwards, I need to know my alphabet. People are always looking for overstable distance drivers, headwind fighter machines. The force, right now this Z Force run is darn near crystal in a lot of them. Really stiff rim, gonna be nice and overstable, have a slight dome to them. And then if you want something to take the edge off a little bit of the force, I personally think the Z is the way to go, regardless, because I think it's a headwind fighter. It's what the Force is supposed to be, but we do have some more flat big Z ones that might be able to get up and ride for you a little bit, but the Force is just crazy overstable. I don't think nearly enough people are throwing this when they're looking for that like destroyer or like overstable slot, and plus I don't think people realize how many pros are throwing the Force. Last but certainly not least, Stalker. Here she is, 7 speed with a bead. Now, what this is fascinating to me is this is one of my all-time favorite Discraft molds. Actually hasn't been in my bag in a while. When you beat this thing up a little bit, it becomes a hyzer flip fairway finding machine. And what I found is with that bead, it likes to hold its stability there for a long time. And I don't know if this is the bead or what it is. I found I don't really get much skip or slide with the Stalker. So I found that it kind of hits and sticks. Starts off slightly overstable, really good. Just throw it out there flat, know where it's gonna go, slight fade. Beats into a beautiful hyzer flip fairway driver. So if you're looking for that, a good 7 speed from Discraft, check out the Stalker, available in a ton of plastics as well.
All right, so one thing I wanted to draw attention to, if you've been watching us for a while, you probably know in the past we work a lot with the Isaiah 117 house as a charity. We've done like charity skins matches involved with them. We've done live streams and stuff. Basically, the Isaiah 117 house, what they do is they provide a middle ground for kids that are going into the foster system. A lot of times that in-between process, before they're placed in a home, they're kind of just left in a social worker's office or something like that, where, you know, they might be scared, they don't really have any possessions, and they don't have a place to be in between. So that's what this house provides, is basically somewhere for there to be, where they can be comfortable, where they can be given things before they're placed in a home. So that's a cause we've always supported, and right now we have a lot of discs in stock. If that's something you want to help support, proceeds from these purchases go towards the Isaiah 117 house. We have a lot of different Prodigy molds here, and then we also have a good bit of Innova as well, such as a Valkyrie here. There's some Yeti Pros. I think we've got some M Model S's here, and then we also have some putters. These are P Model US's. So make sure to check those out. Any of the Isaiah 117 house stuff, like I said, part of the proceeds goes straight to them and helping them out, and it's a great cause. So give that a look for sure. All right, gonna wrap things up over here on the accessory shelf. As always, if you've never been to our accessories collection, we have lots of cool things like towels with our logo on them. We've got some Foundation water bottles here. But one thing I really want to point out is our Ripped Revenge. If you've never tried out Ripped Revenge yet, what are you waiting for? It's super fun. It's not expensive. It's basically a card game that helps you play disc golf in a really fun way with all your buddies. It's a great time. And right now we're doing Ripped Revenge bundles. So this is the perfect time to get into Ripped, because the bundle comes with is you get both decks. So these are, this is the first iteration of the game. This is the second. There's some new cards and some new rules in there. You get a carrier, which this thing's actually great, clips onto your bag, and it can hold both your discard deck, your hand, and the entire deck if you want. Those are actually very helpful to have when playing. And then it comes with 3 packs of our expansion. This is our Series 1 expansion here, Ripped Revenge Evolution, and these are just cards that you can add and build your own deck. It's like a random amount, and you can get like rare cards and all kinds of stuff. So now is the perfect time to get into Ripped Revenge. Check out the Ripped bundles in our accessories collection. It's super fun. I very highly recommend Ripped Revenge, and like I said, it's very affordable, and it's a great time to play disc golf. Other than that, that's all we've got for this week's Weekly Warehouse Preview. Make sure, once again, check out all the Isaiah 117 house in-house products. Make sure to be on the site at 5 p.m. for that Fission Proxy drop, because those are going to go super quick. But other than that, we'll see you next week.